24Option is still one of the most popular so-called binary brokers out there. They are big, meaning they are good at marketing, have big pockets. They even have a sponsorship deal with the Italian football team Juventus and have thousands of affiliates pushing them. What follows is an unbiased examination of the platform, and as ever, do not take this as a recommendation to use 24Option. 24Option was founded in 2010 and is regulated by Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission as a Cyprus investment firm. Now, is that a good thing? Well, not necessarily. Dealing with a regulated binary options provider is always better than dealing with an unregulated site, but many binary brokers operating under a Cyprus license have been found to have questionable business practices, and it is only recently that the Cyprus authorities have started cracking down on unscrupulous providers. So who owns 24Option? Well, 24Option are owned by Rodella Limited. Rodella also run 24fx.com, grandoption.com, quickoption.com, plus a number of 24Option URLs with different suffixes. So how serious are the questionable business practices? Well, the French AMF just recently has banned 24Option from doing business in France. Among the reasons was not acting in an honest or fair manner in the interest of its clients. Additionally, the Cyprus regulator had cause to fine Rodella Limited €156,000 in January 2016. Part of the fine, as laid out in the board decision, was because Rodella failed to act fairly, honestly, and professionally in accordance with the best interests of its clients. But let's take a look at the 24option.com website. Now, there's no doubt that with a bold black background and gold leaf buttons, 24Option is really trying to entice traders with a trading platform that exudes luxury. 24Option uses the tech financials trading platform for binary options. Let's start the registration process. As soon as you fill in some of the personal information on the sign-up form and click Submit, 24Option will ask you to deposit money into your account. So unlike most other legitimate brokers out there, 24Option will not provide clients with a free demo account to try their platform risk-free. You need to deposit $250 of your hard-earned cash to be eligible for a demo account. Now that in itself should raise eyebrows. The minimum deposit on 24Option is $250 and the minimum trade is $24. 24Option offers a wide variety of currencies, indices and equities. In fact, over 100 underlying assets. The indices comprise of 19 different assets, with most of the major stock markets represented. Commodities have two usual suspects in terms of gold and oil, plus a gold versus silver derivation to provide a bit of interest to the more technical trader. High and low contracts will offer more choices of commodities. There's also 43 equities. Is a good offering, bearing in mind that binary options provider can only provide on the markets with the most liquid equities. And here we have a few common examples, as we can see, the usual suspects of Facebook, eBay, Google. Now, trading assets, including the currencies, commodities, stocks and indices, there's a minimum trade of $24, with a minimum deposit, as we've previously mentioned, of $250. Now, as with any binary options trading, traders have to decide whether the price will go up or go down. But unlike many other binary option brokers that are out there that offer, say, call and put buttons, 24Option uses straightforward high and low buttons that leave no room for confusion. Now, we do have various option types. We have high-low, short-term, there's also one-touch, and boundary. Expiry times vary from 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 to 30 minutes, 1 hour to 24 hours plus, and end of month. The most important and widely traded binary options contract is, of course, the standard high-low contract, which is what we can see here. If we just choose the Euro US dollar. High-low is basically a trading type that requires the trader to bet on the price being higher or lower than the price of the trading instrument at the time of execution. So if we're using this as an example on the Euro US dollar, we can see, for the sake of argument, we'll say there's a bit of support there at just at these highs and these bottoms of these lows here. And we could say, let's say that it's going to go high, and we're going to say it's going to be higher than it currently is at 15.55. So we will enter 24, and we'll go high, and then press buy. So that's our trade. We're saying it's going to be higher than it currently is at 15.55, which is in 8 minutes time, and if we get it right, we'll get £43, £43, sorry, and 68 pence. So we'll leave that running. So moving on to the next most popular contract variety, we have a short-term binary option. Now, this trading type is similar to high and low trade, but the core difference is the time frame of the trade, which is shortened to an incredible 60 seconds in some cases to 2 minutes and 5 minutes. So in this instance, we will place a trade on oil, and we'll say in 60 seconds it's going to be higher than it currently is. We'll do that relatively quickly. High buy. So we're saying that oil is going to remain above the point of entry, and if we get that right, we'll get £40 and 80 pence. From there, we have one touch. Now, the main goal of this trading type is to predict whether the price of the market will achieve a given level or won't. So here we have one touch, and in this instance we will choose the Euro Japanese yen. Let's have a look at some options, Forex on one touch. Do we have any stocks? No, just the... Okay, we'll choose the Japanese yen. Let's have a look at this chart. We're not using any candles or anything on this right now. You can see we have this graph that shows sort of where the sentiment is going or has gone. So Australian US dollar. So we're going to say it's going to touch So we say, in this instance, we'll say it won't touch because it's actually got quite a lot of momentum and it's having the level at 75694, which I imagine 75694. I'm doing some on-the-fly analysis as I'm doing this. 75694, 75692. So we will say, I will say it will touch. I got a feeling that that's going to come back down. So we'll enter a buy. We're saying it's going to touch 75645. So if it does, we'll get £40 and 80p. Now finally we have boundary. Rather than bet on the direction, you could open a position based on volatility. A boundary bet, like those available from 24Option, allows you to specify whether a market will expire within or outside of a specific range. This enables you to take a view on whether a price is likely to move or remain relatively quiet. So we will have a look at those. So we have boundary, and we can set the expiry times, and if we click on those, we can say that it's going to be within this boundary, in, or outside of the boundary within this set time. So by 4:15, which is in around about 20 minutes time, we could say it's going to be outside of this boundary. And that's quite a wide boundary to be in. So we will, for the sake of argument, say it's going to be within this boundary that it has. High yield. Now this is a special high risk option, but offers higher payouts. There are two kinds of such options: high yield touch and high yield boundary. In addition, early closure of many options is also available. This provides you the opportunity to close your trade early to lock in a profit or minimize your losses. While your real money trade is ongoing, there is a constantly changing price that the provider is willing to close at. So if you're winning the option, the price goes up and up and up, and if you're losing the option, the price goes down, down and down proportionately. Overall, we found the 24Option trading platform to be pretty well organized, efficient and relatively easy to work with. 24Option have also recently added CFDs covering a number of forex pairs and shares. As we can see here. Deposit options, well, we can't actually see them here because we're using a demo account, but the deposit options are debit and credit cards, Skrill, wire, transfer, and Natala. Withdrawal fees. So for withdrawal on credit card, you get 3.5%. Skrill, it's 2%. And there is also a $30 wire withdrawal fee. The currencies for withdrawal are US dollar, euro, and Great British pound. There is also a mobile app which is very similar in execution, but obviously limited by space because of the size of the screen in which you use. Now there is a charting package, as we can see, within 24Option, and it's relatively decent. And it's much better than many of the options that, or charting options that other binary brokers provide. So we'll just pop that out. And as you can see, you have a very basic charting window if you just want to sort of go on the standard sort of line. But as we can see, they have this pop-out option which you can resize. And it gives you plenty of options. So we have open, high, low, close, candles. We can set the time frames, zoom in, zoom out. We can apply various studies and drawing tools. So compared to many other brokers, there is, you know, the charting package is pretty decent. 24Option also provide a certain degree of education. They also offer daily market updates, financial news headlines, an economic calendar, ebooks, and webinars. Is there a free demo account? Well, no, that's only unlocked after your first deposit. Withdrawals, well, the first withdrawal is free. Subsequent credit card withdrawals are charged at 3.5% and wire withdrawals cost $30. This provider offers several account types, ranging from a standard account, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. You get your own personal account manager, but the service depends heavily on how much you've deposited. Gold accounts with 24Option, of course, like with any other broker, get better treatment and higher returns. They don't even tell you clearly how much you need to deposit for the higher tier accounts. When I asked their customer service how much do I need to deposit for a gold account, they replied with a questionable, "You will be able to get this information from your personal account manager only." So let's start with some of the problems. One of the most common problems and complaints is slippage and how they seem to use it to their advantage. Now, slippage refers to the delay of, say, 3 to 5 seconds on entering trades. For example, if I buy a call option and I click on buy it, It usually takes a few seconds until the option is actually purchased. During that time, the price can change. I get that, and every trader does. However, I realize that if the price goes up during that time, I usually get that higher price locked in. But if the price goes down, and I would get a lower price, which of course would be an advantage for me when buying a call option, then I usually get the initial price that I clicked on. For put options, it's of course the other way round. Maybe some of you who use 24Option know what I'm talking about. Now second, and this is pretty important, and it's outrageous really, if you don't deposit or trade for a period of 2 months, 24Option will start charging you a monthly inactivity fee for the continued availability of your trading account. The monthly inactivity fee starts at a hefty €80 after 2 months of inactivity, and then increases crazily to €200 per month if you're inactive for over 6 months. Now thirdly, never agree to the bonuses that 24Option offer you. Once you get a bonus, you're stuck because your acceptance of the bonus comes with an obligation to trade multiple times its value before being able to withdraw your funds. I repeat, do not accept bonuses. Should you decide that binary options are not your thing, but you have accepted a bonus, you will be trapped. They will decline your withdrawal requests. I also find that the payout rates are not great for a basic account, and their brokers keep stressing the crap out of you to push you to upgrade to a silver, gold, or even a platinum account, which then allows you to benefit from higher payout rates. That's their main point of sale, and honestly it's pretty annoying. And also, these guys have a very aggressive manner to get you to deposit more and more money into your account. Just look at some of the promotions they offer. Some of their prior promotions that they've offered have been a free iPad if you deposit a minimum of 10,000 in new funds, which is basically a trap, since once you've deposited you won't be able to request withdrawal before generating 50,000 in trading volume. Previously they've offered a free MacBook if you deposit a minimum of 20,000 in new funds. Yet again, another trap to catch high rollers, since once you deposit you won't be able to ask for a withdrawal until generating 100,000 in trading volume. There's a free $24 cash bonus for users downloading their mobile app, but be warned, you would need to generate a minimum trading volume of 75 times this amount, and you would then need to make a deposit to claim that $24 in bonus money. What I also really hate about 24option.com are all the sales calls you get through. I opened my account with 24Option, I think around about 2 years ago, and even though extensively saying I do not want you to call me, they still haven't stopped calling me. Calling from an unknown number, I still sometimes accidentally pick up the phone to hear, "Hey Andy, what are you doing?" Maybe not an issue for someone else, but I personally just cannot stand it. I find all these practices immoral. Their salespeople are also far too pushy, and I try to psych clients up. They will talk with you with a smile on the phone, encouraging you to deposit. It is all playing on psychology, gearing up clients and trying to develop a connection with them. For a moment, let's pretend 24Option is a trustworthy and honest broker with respect to binary options trading. Why in the world do you want to trade the world's worst financial product? Well, binary options are designed from the bottom up to take your money. At best, you have a less than 50-50 chance of making the money back over the longer term. If you are desperate to take on risk, consider exploring CFDs instead, or just stick to plain stocks trading. However, given the questionable business practices, my advice would be not to touch these guys with a barge pole and approach binary trading very, very cautiously. Now, of course, as ever, if you find this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. Thanks so much.